Welcome back to CounterPoints. We're excited to be back for this Friday morning. Ryan, how was your week?
Week was good. Glad to be back. Looking forward to another show.
Well, you wanted to talk about something we didn't have in our rundown, because we have a great rundown. We're going to start talking about developments in the invasion of Ukraine. We're then going to talk about an FTC hearing, or actually a grilling of Jonathan Cantor and Lena Khan from the FTC by Congress that a lot of people missed. That flew under a lot of people's radars. Ryan, you're talking about all kinds of stuff, but particularly you have a lot of evidence in the monologue that you're laying out as it pertains to.
There's been another really close look at the killing of Shireen Abu Akleh, and we'll also talk about the fight that erupted this week among Democrats over anti-Semitism.
That's right.
Accusations flying back and forth.
And then we'll talk a little bit about Walmart.
They want people to get naked.
Walmart wants people to pose in tight-fitting clothing. That's a quote. In order to try on clothes virtually. So I'll talk a little bit about that, and we're going to talk about
an update in the posting wars.
That's right.
Right. The Texas trolling law around big tech that basically said you can't censor people was upheld by the Fifth Circuit. So we're probably headed to the Supreme Court.
It's a really...
the meme wars are really headed all the way to the top.
I mean, it's more than meme wars. We're talking about getting into nationalization territory, which I mean, it's a big deal. So we'll talk about that case, and then we're really excited to have Max Alvarez here. Couldn't fit him in last week, so Max is back. He's giving us an update in the ongoing negotiations. The media sort of moved on and acted as though they're totally over.
Right.
That the negotiations with the railway workers are completely over, but Max knows better than that, and will give us some insights on everything as it pertains to those negotiations. So Ryan, you wanted to start actually though by talking about a bill that was passed in the House last night. A lot of people weren't paying attention to it. It created an interesting rift among Democrats that a lot of people missed. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, major drama yesterday all throughout the day in the House of Representatives. And we'll see whether this moves from symbolic to real, because the Senate is trying to do a police funding and police reform bill. It's not impossible that this could happen, because a ton of House Republicans ended up voting for this. So this could become real. For now, the bills that were passed by the House are going to be seriously modified before they become law. But all sorts of drama. And so in order to get these bills to the floor, you have to pass what's known as a rule. And so the parliamentary procedure is, this is the rule under which we're going to debate this, and you have to get a majority vote in order to move that forward. Republicans generally, the minority doesn't help the majority pass the rule, which means that Democrats have to be united in order to get it through. The squad does not like this funding bill. Because we went from passing the George Floyd Policing Act in 2020, but not through the Senate, to now we're passing more funding for police. And so to them, this is a real betrayal of the movement that burst onto the scene in 2020.
And by the way, for the sake of politics, they're doing this in an election year in the
to
fall
show that we're not
of an
defund the police,
year.
we're funding the police, just like Biden said.
Because they're getting hammered in ads on policing and crime.
The squad is not here for that, and so they vote no on the rule. And without the margins they need, it's about to go down. And so here, Pelosi the Hammer comes out. The speaker doesn't usually vote.
Nancy the Hammer Pelosi.
She starts twisting arms, and she does two things to get the bill through that are pretty extraordinary. One, she gets Ayanna Pressley to switch her vote from no to present. So now Republicans are within one vote of being able to take it down. And there's one Republican who hasn't voted yet. She's on her way to the floor. The custom is, you're on your way to the floor, you let the person vote. Like that's the camaraderie that has developed over 200 plus years in the House of Representatives. That Republican who McCarthy's waiting for, Liz Cheney. She's late getting to the floor. And Pelosi says...
She had too much snooping on the American people to do.
And Pelosi says, you know what? Boom, and she gavels it. And so it passes 216 to 215 with one person voting present and one person not voting.
Amazing. So that's like some $60 million worth of funding to local police departments.
Well, billions, really. It would be each police department under 125 officers gets $60 grand.
I see.
to go toward training, or it can go toward body cams. And so since a lot of them are already doing training and body cams, the opposition is saying, well, now they're just going to use this money to fund the things that they were already funding.
It's fungible.
And you're going to use the money to go buy a tank or whatever.
Right.
Because the tanks are cool.
Right. Well, and this is obviously a huge midterm theme. It's a recurring theme for Democrats. The President's State of the Union address this year, he said, we are going to fund the police, and they're getting clobbered on crime in a lot of different places. Crime has not just gone up. Certain crimes have not just gone up in certain cities. It's also rural areas. The Wall Street Journal did a good report on that, particular rural areas.
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.